in to Real Talk with Tamara. On today's show, I will be speaking with Don Morris. He's calling in from Muncie, Indiana to speak about his missing daughter, Ashley Morris Mullins. Ashley went missing in September of 2013. Thanks for calling in, Don.
Thank you.
How have you all been doing?
Excuse me?
How have you been?
Oh, a little rough. Worried about our daughter. Trying to find out what's going on.
So Ashley has been missing since September 18th of 2013.
Yes.
Okay, where did she go missing from?
She jumped missing from Rorton, Indiana.
Okay, and how far is that from Muncie, Indiana?
Approximately 7 miles from Muncie.
Okay. So when did you realize that your daughter was missing?
Well, we called for like 2 weeks straight, probably from about September the 2nd or so. We called, no answer. We went by her house, left notes on the back door, no replies. For a couple weeks we'd done this. Then on the 18th we had reported it, and that's when we come to know that she was missing. We contacted her boyfriend, and her boyfriend had told us that she had been missing, had left 2 weeks ago without even contacting us or anything, and saying she left her baby girl behind with him.
Okay,
and
so
we don't believe this.
Okay, so you all knew that was abnormal for her to just go up and go missing, like he said, just up and leave.
Well, no, that's not normal at all, because she had been talking to her brother every day for the last couple months. Every day they was in contact with people, with each other. Then all of a sudden she didn't contact him as well. So we feel there's something going on here.
Right. So in the midst of her being missing, do you all feel like the story why do you think that, other than the fact that she would not just go missing and leave her child, do you think that her boyfriend is the reason for her being missing?
Yes, we do. We strongly believe that her boyfriend is the reason.
And why is that?
Well, because she told us that she had stolen $15,000 from him. Well, then when we reported this to the police, he told the police that he'd give her $10,000 and she just wanted to get away. But he told the police a different story than he told us. So we don't believe this man whatsoever. And also in 2010, he rented a room for a young lady, which burned up in hotel rooms. So this guy, has been involved with criminal past as well.
Okay, so in 2010, he rented a hotel room for another young lady, and then the hotel room burned up?
Yes, ma'am, and she died inside the fire.
So do you all think that he possibly had anything to do with that also?
Yes, we do. We strongly believe this.
And why?
Well, was 61, and she was like 22 to 23 years old, and he was providing this young lady with drugs, and all of a sudden, this hotel burns up, then there's nobody charged in this crime whatsoever, so it's unsolved yet today.
Oh, wow. So how helpful, who's handling your daughter's missing persons case? What police agency? What city?
It's Muncie, Indiana, Delaware County Sheriff's Department, and we also have state police working on it as well.
And how helpful have they been?
Not very helpful at all. That's why we've contacted you, and we believe this man has family in the police department, and he has lawyered up from the start with a lawyer that has been in practice for almost 45 years.
Oh, wow.
Here in Delaware County, and he is well known.
Okay. So your daughter's ex-boyfriend, the older man, he's well known?
Excuse me?
You said that your daughter's boyfriend, the older man that she was with, you said he's well known in Delaware County, Muncie, Indiana?
His lawyer's well known.
Oh, okay. His lawyer's.
And this man is as well. He had a shop here in town locally, and the shop, it caught on fire, and he tried to say, but from what I heard, it was arson. He set the fire trying to collect insurance on the building, on the business.
Mm-hmm. So you feel like the Muncie Police Department has pretty much treated your daughter's case like it's obsolete.
Right. They're just, they haven't followed through from the start. We pulled up when we sent them to investigation for her house, and we actually see a Delaware County policeman. We had a sign on this house, missing Ashley Moore's smallest, had a sign on this house. They removed the sign, pulled it off the house, and we seen one of the officers when we pulled it around the corner to check on it and see if they was doing their job. We noticed one of the officers throwing her sign face down in the front yard of the house.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, it wasn't a very pleasant sight.
So just kind of tell my audience, what have the police told you all so far as it relates to your daughter's missing persons case? What have they told you all to kind of like just brush it off?
Well, they just haven't followed through with any leads that we've given whatsoever. Any leads or we went down to get the case file after a year and a half. Their word, we went and got the case file. He tried to talk me out of getting the case file, the detective, because it cost 70 cents a page, and he said this could get very expensive. So I said, I don't care what the cost, I want the case. Well, when I went to get it, he ended up giving me the case file because he had a page and a half. It would cost me $1.40, and this man tried to talk me out of getting this case file. He had 1 page and a half after a year and a half of my daughter being missing. Now, I don't feel he's doing his job.
Mm-hmm. So, Mr. Morris, had Ashley said anything to you all before she went missing about any possible problems in their relationship with him, with her then boyfriend? First of all, before you answer that, how much older was he than Ashley?
He's 61, she was 28.
Okay, so there's almost like a 30-year difference.
Yeah, I'm the father of Ashley, and I'm 51, so the father that he's claiming of my grandbaby is older than the grandpa's.
Hmm.
So that tears a hole right in me.
Okay, had your daughter...
On the same token that you asked that they had any problems, the last time I seen my daughter was at my front door saying that this man had took her prescription drugs, her prescription pills, and won't give them back to her. And I told her to call the police on him, and that's the last words I got to say to my daughters.
Oh, wow. So had you all ever witnessed, like, or any one of your family had ever witnessed, like, any control or anything from him as it relates to her?
One time my wife asked to see the grandbaby, and he brought her over here, and I told him out front of my house when my wife was seeing the grandbaby that I told him, I said, I ought to just pull you out of that car and beat your butt. And his remarks was, I will kill you. Then he slammed the car down into drive, 4 doors wide open, and took off down the road.
Mm-hmm. So I know we just kind of like jumped right into the case, but I forgot to ask you, kind of tell my audience, what kind of person was Ashley?
Ashley was a real lovable, sensitive person. I mean, if something went wrong, she would cry. I mean, she didn't handle stress well at all. I mean, if she had a problem, she would go to tears, and she was very forgiving on everything. And she's a wonderful daughter. I mean, very smart young lady. She got messed up with this guy because her and her husband was getting separated, and she didn't have nobody else to fall on. So that's how she ended up with this guy, because she traded her prescription drugs to have her van's transmission worked on to this guy. Is how she met. She met actually trading prescription drugs for car work, and he set her in this house in Lorton, was his house, and he moved her belongings. Like a week after we had filed a report, he moved her belongings out of that house, and his lawyer let him use his truck. So the lawyer's truck was involved in moving my daughter's belongings out, which is against the law. You're not supposed to, it's supposed to be court ordered to move anybody out of a house, and they moved all her belongings out within a week. And, you know, if she just wanted to get away for a while, and this guy gave her $10,000, why would her belongings be taken out of the house? Because he's expecting her to come back, right?
Right.
So I just don't understand why the police can't figure this case out. They're more helping this guy than they are, you know, helping us, because he's lawyered up.
So
and we can't afford a lawyer.
Right. So you kind of spoke about he's a well-known, he has a business there, and he possibly has family in the Muncie, Indiana Police Department. Now, you told me that he said that he told you all in the beginning that your daughter, he gave her $15,000, but he told the judge something completely different. Did you all tell this to the police?
Yes, I've explained this, and I went to the police and told the police that, you know, first that he had told us that he had given her $15,000, and that's what made us suspicious to go to the police. Then when the police went there, he told them that he'd give them $10,000 because he wanted to get away. Now, if somebody wants to get away and they got $10,000, why would you move their belongings out of the house expecting them to come back? It just don't make sense. And why the police wouldn't understand this and do further. And also, this very man, his own kid died in his house, OD'd in his house, drug-related as well, and is gone.
Wow.
So this guy raises a lot of suspicion.
Okay. And the police has not been helpful at all. Not even the state police?
The state police is supposed to be running their own case, and they have had cadaver dogs on a couple places that we wanted searched. So the state police did do that. Every time I asked the Muncie, Delaware County Police to do this, they never involved cadaver dogs. They said they did it on their own, with their own dogs, but I don't have no proof of that. But I do have proof that the state police did bring the cadaver dogs in to a couple places. But as far as Delaware County, I have no evidence of them doing any of the searches that they told me they did.
Mm-hmm.
And also, he told, the detective told me my daughter OD'd, okay? And I told him, I says, well, my daughter OD'd, where's the body? Where's the proof? Okay, so I called him back a month later and I asked him, I says, you know, you told me my kid OD'd, you know, and I'd like to know, you know, why you would tell me something like that without no evidence. Then he turned around and told me, well, I didn't tell you that, Doc. And I'm like, you did tell me that. Then also in another situation, my sisters howl this guy a lot, and they call him and, ask him what's going on with the case. And he don't give them no information. And Scroggins, the sheriff, the Delaware County sheriff, actually got really hateful with my oldest sister. But they don't seem to be cooperating in any manner to help. I mean, they haven't re-questioned me since 2013 on this case. Now, if you're working on a case, you always get new leads and you always have new information. So you go back and you backtrack and you ask people about these. But we've not been asked nothing. And it's just been kind of like empty since we first went to him, unless we bring up something. And a lot of his leads are through what I get, not on his own.
Okay, you mentioned that your daughter has your daughter has a son?
2 sons. And this man talked her into giving the 2 sons to her husband because they was treating him bad. And he talked her into giving them up, but I think that was part of his plan to get them out of the way so they wouldn't see what happened, or to make her come up missing. And he took my 3-month-old granddaughter at this time. He's had my granddaughter since this has happened, and we are not allowed to see her.
So is your granddaughter, is that his biological child?
I don't know. We can't confirm that because we've never had DNA. And also, when my daughter had the baby, he made my daughter get a private room. We wasn't even allowed to be there when she had the baby. We didn't even know what was going on until we got a call from somebody else saying that she was in the hospital in a private room, and we could not even be there for our daughter, my first granddaughter from my daughter.
Oh, wow.
So this guy took a lot from me, not only my daughter, but he's took a lot of my livelihood away from me. A lot of people enjoy seeing their kids on their 50th birthday. That's their golden years, and I wasn't able to do that as well. I mean, my daughter wasn't around when I turned 50, and this was very sad to me.
Oh wow, I hate that. So you said that your daughter was very close to her brother, your son?
Now, shoot, I didn't hear you there.
You said your daughter was very close to her brother.
Yes, ma'am. They called every day, one another every day.
And what did he say the last time he spoke to her? How was she the last time he spoke with her?
Well, he won't give that information. I mean, the only information that, my son.
Your son.
Yeah, my son, they would talk every day. Now, my son is just totally tore up. He don't have a clue what's going on as well. And, we've seen this guy come by my house a couple times, and my boy, when he seen him, he chased him plumb down the road and was going to do bad things to him as he got a hold of him. So my son is really frustrated over this.
So the last time your son talked to Ashley, did he say that she kind of like had a dark cloud? Did it seem like something was bothering her? Did she say anything to him about she was going to leave?
No, we haven't really talked to my son about it a whole lot because we even bring it up, it breaks him down pretty bad. So we try to hide a lot. I mean, I get a lot of posts through Facebook, people telling me things and leads and stuff, and most of them are dead ends and really tears us apart, but we don't share this with him at all because it really tears him down. So I don't question him and anything about my daughter or his sister because it's horrendous what it does to him.
So why do you feel that he won't allow you all to see your granddaughter?
because he's done something to my daughter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And how old was your granddaughter when your daughter went missing?
She was 3 months old.
Oh, okay. So
She had just had that baby 3 months prior to her disappearance.
okay.
And she was living at his house, and like I say, within a week, this guy was using his lawyer's vehicle and moving my daughter's stuff out of that house. So he knows something.
So you feel the lawyer and possibly some of the key detectives within the Muncie, Indiana Police Department possibly knows something or knows this guy. Well, we know the lawyer knows him because he's hired him, but possibly
Right.
has a connection to some of the detectives within that department.
Right, I believe this heavily.
Mm-hmm. So how has your wife been handling it?
Oh, it's just changed both of us entirely. You know, we're generally happy people, and for the last year and a half, it's not been like that. It's not been like that at all.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And, you know, we used to do things as a family and stuff, and I haven't had a Christmas tree up since she's been gone. Thanksgiving's not the same. March 1st is her birthday. Well, it just so happened my son, my first granddaughter from my son, is on March 1st. So Ashley was born on March 1st. My very first granddaughter is born on March 1st. So when March 1st comes, it's supposed to be a good day for my granddaughter, but it's a bad day for me because of my daughter. It's a reminder of her. So it's an ongoing thing for the rest of my life that I can see right now because both of them was born on March 1st. And, you know, that's a day I will never forget.
Okay. All right, Don, I'm going to stop you right there because we need to take a break.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to Real Talk with Tamara. On today's show, I've been speaking with Don Morris. He called in from Muncie, Indiana to talk about his daughter, Ashley Morris Mullins, who went missing September 18th of 2013 without a trace. And we were kind of talking about the suspicions surrounding her disappearance. Her father is on the phone. He said that he knows for a fact that his daughter would not go missing without a trace and just leave her children. At the time, she had two younger sons, and she had a 3-month-old daughter who her father was saying they don't have the opportunity to see. She also had a boyfriend that she was living with at the time. He was almost 30 years her senior, and her father was kind of talking to me about how his stories have changed. There have been conflicting stories. How the police department, the Muncie, Indiana Police Department has not been very helpful. How this guy has lawyered up, and how he could possibly be connected to some more missing young ladies that have gone missing. Now, I kind of want to go back a little bit, Don. So, for my audience who may be just tuning in, you said that before that he had a girlfriend before your daughter that was living in a hotel, and the hotel caught on fire.
Just her room.
Just her room.
Just her room. Just her room. He rented the hotel room for the young lady, and she burned up in that hotel room, and nobody's been charged still yet today.
Okay. And we were kind of talking about your concerns about another young lady named Brianna that may have had connections to Ashley's ex-boyfriend.
Yes. He was supposedly to trade this girl's food stamps for drugs, and she was found in a conservation club without her head and without her right arm. They held a search week before last looking for the rest of this young lady's body parts.
Okay. how do you all feel like he had connections with her?
Well, because another girl had been there to drop her off with Dan, or with this man, and he had told her that this was what would happen to her if any of this information had got out, that he was trading drugs or food stamps. Showed her a picture of a bloody young lady that appeared to be dead in the picture on his phone, and told her this is what happened to her, and that's who Brianna was last seen with.
Oh, wow. And with all of, okay, and still nothing has happened. Her case is cold, am I right?
Right. Still no answers to that. Then after that, we've had another young man, Jeremy Johnson. He's been missing for quite some time now as well in Delaware County. And from what I hear, he might have watched Abigail, which is my granddaughter, that he might have something to do with this guy's disappearance as well, because this guy supposedly used to watch my granddaughter, and he might have known the information that this my daughter's boyfriend might not have wanted out there, and he's been missing for some time as well.
Oh my God.
Then
So
there's another case of another young lady that OD'd in a house, and he left her to die, and now she is a vegetable in a nursing home. And that's been approximately 8 years ago, and that man was involved in that one too.
and Muncie, Indiana police are not digging into this, and this has happened to all of these people. Now you said with the young man that he was connected with, his car was found, am I right?
You're right. I mean, you're so right, and that's why I'm putting the word out everywhere I can. Facebook. I'm going to Facebook. I'm under Ashley, searching for Ashley Morris Wallace. We're trying to get the word out there, because even when we try to get it put in the paper, the police block it. They have to have an okay to even put this in the paper. So every time we try to get it in the paper, they say, well, it's still under investigation. We don't want to blow the case. Well, it's been under investigation almost 2 years now. When are we going to get it out there that we need to find these people?
So the police won't even allow you all to put your daughter's missing picture in the paper?
Right. We went to the police several times, and they put it in there, just very vaguely. It's hit the paper twice out of a year and a half. And that's because we just pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And at one time it took us a month to even get it in the paper. So they're just prolonging this whole thing for some reason.
So have you all been putting up missing person signs?
We've been hanging signs all over Delaware County, and we've observed people pulling them down. We don't know if it's just neighborhood people, or we don't know if it's this man, but we was putting one in Yorktown where this man lives, and a cop had come up to one of the girls that was putting the poster up in the village pantry, and this cop was from Muncie, Delaware County Sheriff, here again, and told this lady she had been found. And this lady called me right away and says, Don, has Ashley been found, and we're still hanging signs up? And I said, no, she's not been found. I said, hang that sign up. Don't care what that cop said. But this cop got out of his car, marched, uniform and all, and told a girl that we was hanging these signs that she had been found.
So why do
Which
you
was
think,
an absolute lie.
why do you think that the police, you said before that one of the detectives told you that she had overdosed, and and then took the statement back. Why do you think he said that?
I have not a clue. just to get me off his back. He thought I'd give up if maybe he told me that I would give up. I'm not a giving up type person. I'm a roofer. I've roofed houses for 35 years. I'm a very, very strong-minded person to roof houses for 35 years. They don't understand what a roofer's life is about. They don't give up. And I think that was his way to try and get me off his back and say, okay, she's OD, we'll never find her, she's dead. But I'm not giving up. I can't give up. This is my daughter. I cannot give up. This is my first daughter. It's my first kid, and I'm not giving up on something I brought into this world. I cannot.
Wow. It's disheartening, you and I spoke about before that Delaware County, which is Muncie, Indiana,
Right.
has a lot of missing people there.
Yeah, we're number one in the state from what I've been hearing.
And in Muncie, Indiana,
We're missing people in the state of Indiana than any other county.
wow, because Muncie, Indiana is like one of the smaller cities there. I know Indiana very well.
Right. Yeah. And it just don't make sense. And from what I hear, lawyers and judges in Delaware County have been messing with young women for quite some time now. So I think that's a big part of it, that they don't want this news to get out about what's going on downtown Muncie, Indiana here with lawyers and judges messing with young ladies.
And when you say they're messing with young...
And there is a book about Muncie, and it's called Cornfields. I don't know the last part of it, but it is written on Delaware County downtown. And it's Cornfields and Psychics or something like that. I don't... But originally a police officer wrote this book. And it's supposed to be about the downtown department of Muncie, Indiana. And it tells about what's going on in Muncie downtown.
So when you say that judges and attorneys and police officers are messing with young women, kind of clarify what you mean by that?
Well, like prostitutes and stuff like this, they've been known to, prostitutes and stuff like that, been known to mess with girls, young girls like that, and even sold and turn them into prostitutes and stuff like that throughout the years.
Mm-hmm.
Just messing with young girls, up and down the streets all the time. Lawyers will trade sex to take cases. Judges that take sex to reduce sentences, things like this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I kind of hate to ask you this question, but I'm going to ask you. Do you feel that your daughter is still alive?
I don't. My wife kind of feels that they may have turned her into one of these, I don't know what you call it, where they take girls and drug them up and turn them into...
The sex human trafficking ring?
Yeah, they're selling her off. I believe the man's killed her. I honestly, that's what I believe. I don't know. I pray that they say what's going on. I pray to see my daughter again, but deep down inside, I feel this man's killed her, because I had somebody on Facebook the other day tell me this guy ran an automotive shop that I got on Facebook. I got it on my private messages. A lady messaged me and told me that she heard from another girl that this guy had stuck my daughter in an acid tank.
So you heard that your daughter was stuck they put your daughter in an acid tank?
Yes, yes ma'am, yes. And that's what I've been told. And my wife did not know that until just now because it's on my private messages of my Facebook.
Is she afraid to come forward, the young lady?
Well, she was told by her daughter, which was told by another girl, which her daughter is in rehab right now, and her daughter was involved with the drugs that this guy, just like this other guy, and I don't know if she was a part of the same gang, but she must have been to have this information. And this is what she heard from evidently his father talking about it.
Mm-hmm. So why do you feel he would want to kill your child? Why do you think he would want to kill Ashley?
Well, because his wife didn't know that he was messing with Ashley. Then he supposedly, I don't know, DNA ain't never been proved that that's his biological baby, which is my granddaughter. There's no proof of that. But she was threatening to go tell his wife that, they was having a baby together. Then all of a sudden, things start changing, I believe, because I think the day she come up missing is the day she was going to go down and tell his wife.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. If he had not told his wife about Ashley, about your daughter being pregnant, or about your daughter having a child with him, and now he has that same child that he won't let you all see, are you all sure that your grandchild, does his wife know about the baby now?
Yeah, because we've let her know now. She knows that that's Ashley's baby, and she's taking care of the baby right now.
And you all haven't.
If somebody, I think he's threatened his wife. Even at this point, I think she's in danger.
And you all don't know the well-being of your grandchild, whether she's alive or if she's healthy?
No. And I told the Delaware County Police Department like 2 months ago I'd like to have a well-being check because his son OD'd in his house with my granddaughter there, and I couldn't even get a well-being check at that point.
Mm-hmm. So his son died.
That's not right.
So his own son died in his home?
In his house off the drugs that he was feeding him because he used to feed his kids drugs to go to work, and he would supply his kid drugs at his shop to keep his kid there working. And that was his motivation, was the drugs that his dad was bringing to work. Well, then he ended up ODing in his dad's house, and the police department tried to tell me that he had a seizure and choked on a cheeseburger and died. Well, I know the lady that had a baby by this man, and she was able to get the autopsy, and they said there was a acute OD of cocaine, booze, and some other narcotics. There was like 2 other narcotics in his system. Mm-hmm. So the Delaware County policeman even told me, he says, Don, I was there, I seen the cheeseburger in his throat. And we found out this information afterwards from this lady that wasn't the reason that he died. He OD'd in his own dad's house due to, I believe, the drugs that his dad had given him.
Oh, wow.
And I couldn't even get a well-being check on my daughter to the county sheriff at that point, and still haven't heard back from him.
Do you think that his wife would have anything to do with Ashley being missing?
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't think so, but I don't know. I would think it would be him because he's the one that ended up with my grandchild. His wife, I think what was going on, this man was giving the rent money to my daughter to take to his wife because it was his house she was living in. Then, after she disappeared, he was moving her belongings out within a week. Well, the law says you have to take it to court to have somebody removed out of the house. Then they got 30 days to get out after they go to court. And my daughter's belongings was gone within a week and a half after I realized her disappearance. So I don't even know how they done that.
Right, and you want to, and you all are still trying to understand how he could be so sure that she wasn't coming back.
Exactly.
So did he say, I don't know if I asked you this before, did he say where she said, did he say anything about where she was supposedly gonna go when she left? When she supposedly left on her own?
Well, he said that she went to Kentucky or to Florida. So, and I don't believe either one of them stories, because I've been there for a father for this girl for 28 years. When she got married, she lived 3 blocks over and we talked on a daily basis. Then, we quit talking because this guy took her out of town, approximately 7 miles from here. And, I thought she was okay. I thought she was safe. And apparently I was wrong. And otherwise I would check on her every day. But, I checked up on her after 2 weeks, and couldn't get a hold of her, for the 2 weeks that we tried to get a hold of her. Left notes, called every day trying to get a hold of my daughter and couldn't get a hold of her. Well, when we got a hold of this man, he had told us that she had been gone, for like 2 weeks before we had started searching for her for 2 weeks. And, said that she had stolen $15,000 and took off. Then he tells the police that he'd give her $10,000, that she just wanted to get away. So, this guy is number one suspect on my list. There's just too many things that's happened prior to this. So I think this man's done something with my daughter.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's hard. It's disheartening because I know Muncie, Indiana, is like one of the smaller towns in Indiana, and the reason I know is because, like I said, I know people there. One of my ex-boyfriends used to play for the Pacers, and one of my relatives. Are you familiar with Bunzie Wells?
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Bunzie Wells is from Muncie, yes.
Yeah, he lives there. So like I said, I know that little city very well. So the idea that so many people are coming up missing, and the city is just like a little small town, a little small city, and then nothing is happening. It's very disheartening that the police aren't doing, aren't being of any help to you all.
Well, they won't even let no other police departments get involved. I had to push because they wouldn't allow state police in. They still haven't allowed state police in. State police had to open their own investigation because Delaware County wouldn't let them in on the case. So that tells me that they're a part of it. When you don't got concern about a missing young lady, and there's a guy twice her age that's got this missing young lady's baby, you think that would be enough for them to do something. But evidently not around here.
Right. Well, we're kind of getting down to the end. Is there anything that you would like to say about your daughter? This is your opportunity. Is there anything you would like to say to the public?
I'd like to say this, Ashley, if you're out there anywhere and you see this, contact us. We are dying from the inside out from this. It is tearing us to pieces. And for the people out there, please log on to searching for Ashley Moore Smallest and help us find our daughter.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to thank you for calling in. Of course, I'm going to put a memory video at the end of this, as I do for all cold case shows that I do and all missing person shows that I do, because to me that's my gift to the hurting family. You know, I hope that there can be some resolution, because with all the people that you just named, and if it is a fact that this man is connected to all of these people missing, and there have been a couple that have died, then there could possibly be a serial killer running around in that city.
I believe that they got 3 girls in Indianapolis. They ain't figured out what happened to them. But this same man had a grandbaby in Indianapolis that his son had lost custody of, but was traveling to Indianapolis on the weekends to the hospital down there. And my heart says he was connected in that.
Mm-hmm.
My true feelings is that he was connected in that down there, because he was spending his weekends down there at the hospital with the grandbaby. I think this man is a serial killer.
Yeah.
I strongly believe this.
Wow. Well, hopefully, you know, there can be some resolution. I sincerely pray, you know, that Ashley is found, you know, whether she's alive or she's not alive, you know, and
we need results.
Right.
And that's right. We need results. We need to be able to rest.
So before we get off the phone, are you all in contact with her other children? You said she had 2 older sons.
Yes, they work for me, both of them.
Okay.
I own my own business. You know, I do roofing, as I said. I own my own business, and they work with me.
So how have they been handling her disappearance?
Oh, it tears them to pieces, girl. It just tears them to pieces. I can't even talk around them about it, because they just break down and cry, and they want to do something to this man, and I keep telling them, no, we can't do that. The Lord will take care of it. We can't take this into our own hands as much as we want to. Trust us, we want to go right to his door right now, and the only thing that is keeping in between me and that man is the Lord above, because I don't care about the 20 to 30 years in jail. I don't, you know, but that's part of the devil. And so the only thing keeping me from this man is the Lord above, because I don't want to go to hell for killing him. That's it. That's the only reason.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, that man would be dead.
Yeah, I understand. Well, I want to thank you for calling in, and as I said, you know, I'm going to air this show, and then, as always, I'm going to put it on YouTube, of course, on my YouTube channel, and I want to thank you all for contacting me and calling in and sharing this. Like I said, it breaks my heart for you all, because I know you want some peace about your daughter. Either way, it's not knowing what has happened, and if this man is involved in all of these cases, then he definitely, you know, needs to be stopped. With him being in his 60s, he still got a good 10 years before he probably died naturally, so he can still do some damage. So
Right.
So like I said, you know, oh, did you tell them all about the Ashley's Facebook page?
Oh yeah, it's been deleted. One of her pages got deleted. We got another one that's searching for Ashley Moore Smallest. If anybody could log on to that and help us share, we would appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank you all for calling in, and then I'll call you all right back.
Okay, thank you.
I want to thank you all for tuning in to Real Talk with Tamara. I was speaking with Don Morris from out of Muncie, Indiana. He called in to speak about his daughter, Ashley Morris Mullins. Ashley is a 28-year-old female white that went missing September 18th of 2013. Her then boyfriend, who was almost 30 years her senior, said that he gave her, well, there have been conflicting stories, but he said that he gave her money, and she just up and left. At the time, Ashley had 2 sons, and she had a 3-month-old daughter that is alleged his daughter, and he's supposedly raising right now, that he won't allow her family to see. So if anyone knows what has happened to Ashley, if anyone has any information about what has happened to Ashley, Ashley Morris Mullins, please give the Muncie, Indiana Police Department a call. Better yet, give the FBI a call. FBI or Crime Stoppers, 1-800-Crime Stoppers, that's the number. Yeah, give the FBI and 1-800-Crime Stoppers a call so that they can jump right on that and start investigating the case. But I want to thank you all for tuning in to Real Talk with Tamara. Until next time, God bless us all.
To my knees will I fall, will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak at all? I can only imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in all of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? Or to my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak it all? I can only imagine. can only imagine when all I would do is forever, forever worship you. I can only imagine.